What's going on, Bears fans? It's Brandon, and I'm back with another edition of Bears Latest. It is Tuesday, April the 22nd. We are just 2 days away from the draft, and here's what's going on in the world of Chicago Bears. First off, we talked a little bit last week, and it maybe even the week prior, as extensions were starting to come out with some of our core players. We talked about who was going to be next in line for a contract extension. And we already had TJ Edwards last week that we figured would be a shoe in for an extension. Well, we were predicted on here, and it's been predicted throughout the media that Joe Tooney was probably going to be next on that list. Um, uh, Probably not the length of a deal similar to what like Edwards and Kyler Gordon got, but we thought at least a couple of years worth of a deal and serve as a nice bridge into the next generation of young Bears linemen and to be able to serve as a really good mentor for these next couple of years. So Ryan Poles and Ian Cunningham were quoted today talking about how they were going to start turning their attention to looking to secure Joe Tooney past this year. Now that they've secured an extension with Kyler and the extension with TJ last week. So it looks like it could be any day now. My guess is it's probably going to end up taking place after the draft once once they start figuring out where all of these players are being slotted for their pick salaries and such. So I think it'll be forthcoming. So stay tuned on that. But it looks like the Bears want Joe Tooney around here beyond this year, and I think the guy has got at least 3 or 4 more years to really kick some butt for us. So I'm hoping that they can get that pushed through, especially before the start of training camp. So that's what's going on there. As you know, there's this little thing going on this week called the draft, uh, and each day it just continues to get crazier and crazier and crazier. A lot of people are putting out a lot of smoke screen. People just kind of throwing all sorts of crazy rumors out there. But something that's really started to take shape the last couple of days, and we talked briefly about it, was Ashton Genty. It really looks like the Ashton Genty uh, rumor to the Bears is picking up some serious steam and might have some legs to it. Rumors now look like that the Bears could possibly trade up to get Genty and use their second round picks to help them along with securing Genty. It sounds like they want to trade with the Jags, especially if Oakland is indeed interested in Genty. Um, or Oakland. Oh my gosh, I am such an old head. Let's try Vegas. If Vegas indeed likes Ashton Genty, the Bears may be tempted to leap up and grab him, or to grab one of the linemen. There's rumors now talking that the top 3 linemen might be off the board before the Bears even pick. So that there's a lot of question marks, but it sounds more and more like the Bears. It's been told, it's been said that they're really high up on Genty. I think the question becomes: are you going to be aggressive? Are you going to leapfrog? Is there going to be some serious movement? Um, Last year, I know a lot of people may or may not know this, but Ryan Poles was ready to trade up to get Rome Odunze, and Ian Cunningham had to calm him down and tell him to let the draft board play out. Um, and that way, we're not doing anything impulsive here. And if it wasn't for the fact that Michael Penix ended up going to Atlanta, um, I mean, after Penix was picked, I mean, it was just a huge sigh of relief in the Bears draft room there, knowing that they could get Rome and not have to part with any picks or do anything drastic to even their future picks. So something like that could also be in play here, where you just watch how the board plays out, and if there's if there's a fall there, or You could definitely tell that he's the one, and there's other people that are looking to pick ahead, and you know this is the weapon that you want in this Ben Johnson offense, then I think you pull the trigger on it. But if you can get the same caliber of player like an O'Marion Hampton or Caleb Johnson, in later picks or being able to trade back to getting a good running back, then I think you should also look at that. Tyler Warren. I mean, there's still talk about Tyler Warren, and he may even fall to 10. Yeah, and the Bears will just be more inclined to just take best player available. And I think Warren is right up there. I think he's a blue chipper. And he's one of the surefire players in this draft that is going to make an immediate impact on day one, along with Genty and Travis Hunter and such. And I gotta wonder, this trade up, trade down. I wonder if they're trying to lean heavy on Genty or leaning heavy on trading up so they can try to put pressure on other teams and just keep their cards close to their vest. And they've got another way or another idea in mind. I just truly believe with all the talent that is in these first 3 or 4 rounds of the draft, why not draft down and get more capital? I know Genty is a stud. He carried Boise State. He rushed all over the field. He's got pretty decent hands there too as a receiving threat, and he would make a really good complement to DeAndre Swift. But I also see that there's other running backs that also had outstanding seasons and would also be a fit in this offense. And we could still go and get other needs to stockpile this team. I think being able to stockpile this team with young talent and being able to have a coaching staff that can get their hands on this young talent to develop, I think building that core is absolutely necessary. But if the Bears truly feel like they are in win now mode and they want to go out and make a big splash and draft Genty, well, power to them. At the end of the day, in polls we trust. I trust that he is going to make the right decision, and I think Ian Cunningham is right there as his right-hand man and will keep him in line. And I think we'll just have to see how the trade waters are navigated come Thursday night. So stay tuned. We'll be on live Thursday night when they announce the pick. You're going to hear me right on here live and in person, and you're going to get my instant reaction from whatever the Bears end up doing. So we'll just have to wait till Thursday to see that outcome. Let's move on. There's just a little bit of news. This is just coming in, I believe yesterday. Arlington Heights is back on. There's been rumors of the Bears staying on the lake shore. There's rumors of the Bears going to the Michael the old hospital site there in South Chicago. There was also talk about them possibly moving to Northwest Indiana and getting a stadium deal there. There's been all sorts of talk, but it looks like Arlington Heights is ready to move forward with evaluating what the Bears stadium plans look like and what they have in mind for building a stadium, a multi-sport, multi-event, basically a community with lots of shops, lots of attractions for the city, the opportunity to host concerts, to be able to host playoff games, Super Bowls, Final Fours, national or college football playoff games. I mean, to have a space where they can do it all, and to have a stadium that is closed domed. Especially on the site that they have right there at Arlington Heights. It's a very attractive option. I think the Bears all along we're planning on Arlington Heights. I think Arlington Heights is going to end up happening. I think Kevin Warren has just been very patient and playing the long game on seeing where things would fall in terms of taxpayer dollars, how much is going to be kicked in by the taxpayers in Arlington Heights area, or seeing what they can get from the state, and even to see like what the Bears absolutely need to be putting in um, to help in the cost and construction of this facility. Um, and for the first time in ever, the Bears are going to have their own stadium that is not owned by the city. It is their building. It's they're going to finally step into the 21st century, and they are going to have a state of the art complex. And I cannot wait to see what that looks like, because when the Bears decided to renovate Soldier Field after the 2001 playoff loss to Philadelphia, and we saw the artist renderings and everything, it looked like a giant saucer got dropped in the friggin' stadium. You know, the house where Walter played and ran and scored, those beautiful iconic pillars that you could see from the lakefront and see in Sunday coverage and things. They wiped that completely out. You could not even see the pillars anymore because of the saucer basically being dropped right there in Chicago. Um, and I've been to games there since they renovated and everything, but it's just it just looks weird. It just looks very weird and haphazard. We just kind of threw it together. So I have to applaud Kevin Warren and the Bears for being patient and diligent and, pardon my French, but not half-assing this thing. They're taking it step by step. And delivering something that is going to be special, not only for Arlington Heights, not only for the Bears, but for all of football and all the other surrounding sports and different um, musical artists and everything that are going to have an opportunity to perform there and to be part of um, a great performance opportunity there. So stay tuned on that. Really interested to see what Arlington Heights thinks of the designs and what they're looking to do with infrastructure and things of that nature. So that's definitely something that I'm really, really, really interested in. So, but yeah, that's where we're at there. And let's move on. We have one more thing to talk about today. I do a little Bears mentioning, as you know, at the end of each episode. I always like to share a little tidbit with you guys. And on this day, 30 years ago, in 1995, we're talking the Dave Wannstedt era, folks. The Bears drafted Rashawn Salam out of the University of Colorado at pick 21. For those who may not remember, Salam was the Heisman Trophy winner that season in 94 at Colorado, rushed for over 2,000 yards. Does that sound like any other running back that we may have heard of recently? I don't know. But at the time, Salam was a stud at Colorado, ran all over the place, came to the Bears, had a dynamic rookie season, rushed over 1,000 yards, had 10 touchdowns on the ground, um, played very, very well for a young Bears team there with Wani. But after that rookie year, career kind of trailed off a little bit. Was not as productive. Started dealing with personal things off the field. He only lasted, I believe, through 97 with the Bears, and then bounced around the league. I think he ended up in um, Canadian Football League for a time, and just kind of fizzled out. And unfortunately, back in 2016, we lost Salam. He unfortunately left us too soon, but his impact that 95 season with the Bears was pretty darn electric. So rest in peace, and looking forward to seeing you know what we do with our first round pick. See if we get the next Salam with Hopefully more sustainability. We'll see. But yeah, just a little blast from the past right there. So folks, feel free, leave comments down below. If you have anything you want to talk about with the Toonie extension, you want to talk about some of those draft rumors. If you've been seeing some other rumors out there, and just your thoughts, maybe even throw in there who you think is going to be drafted. To our beloved Bears. Maybe talk a little bit about Arlington Heights. What are your thoughts on it? Do you want to see them in Arlington Heights, or do you want to see them still along the lakefront? Or, share any fond memories you may have of watching Salam on TV or even in person at Soldier Field. So, without further ado, have a great day, guys. We'll see you tomorrow. And as always, bear down.